Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Guys, everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass, guys, because 32 years ago, I was a dumbass. But 32 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. Yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. So guys, listen, you know, I'm a nutritional health coach and I'm a recovery coach. All my services to you are free. I want everyone out there who's struggling with anything to know someone is listening. So please, please, please reach out. If you think my book can help someone, because I do, you can go right to my website, www.gerrypetito.com. You can also go to Archway Publishing bookstore. You can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore. You can go to BAM, Barnes & Noble's, Amazon. It's everywhere. And guys, listen to me. If you truly, truly, truly cannot afford my book, please reach out to me about that as well. Also go to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel and subscribe. A lot of cool things are going on, and you'll see all these great shows. I want to give a shout out to a couple of my sponsors. One is Michael D'Amore. He's the new lead singer for the Capris, an incredible singer, guys. You can go right to his website, www.michaeldamore.com. For $1.99, you can download his songs. One of my other sponsors for tonight is Gene DiNapoli. And Gene DiNapoli presents Peter Lemongello Jr., American Idol, and Doo-Wop Generations, PBS, and comedian Mike Marino at the Sellersville Theater on August 1st at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets. Dial 215-257-5808. Also, SOS for Life, the number 4. Second annual benefit event, Christmas Feels Like Home. It's being held at Vinyl Lab, Nashville, Tennessee on September 23rd. Guys, they're here to help children. Any child out there that's suffering from anything, whether it's abuse or mental or physical illness, okay? Go to their website, www.christmasfeelslikehome.com and www.sos4life.org, okay? They're here to help all children in need. So please, please, please check them out. So guys, you know I always bring it, right? Well, honey, I am bringing it tonight. Yes, I am, okay? I've got a legend with me right here. You know, and I want to say that, first of all, I'm honored that I got the opportunity to do this interview with him, okay? Not to mention, we both have the same first name, okay? Gerry Polci, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone. How are you? And Gerry, how are you doing?
Doing okay.
Jersey Jewel. So good to be here.
So, you know, you have quite a story. Before we get into all of that, I want you to give a shout out to your manager, and I want you to talk about the show that's coming up. Let's do that right now.
I will. Well, a shout out to my manager, Joe Magnetico. I mean, he's with JM and Associates. He's a great guy. I really like him. We're doing a show July 1st in Belmore, Long Island, at the Belmore Showplace. It's really my first show back after having a long layoff, and we're very excited about it. There are a number of acts on the date, and I'm very fortunate to be at this event, and looking forward to you all coming out. July 1st, 8 o'clock, and it's for our vets. It's really sponsored by the Rolling Thunder Chapter 6 of New York. They do a great job, and come out and support our vets. It's really a great thing, and we're very committed to that function.
So, I mean, first of all, the event you're doing is incredible, but on top of it, for the vets, you know, I have veterans in my family as well. And, guys, really do your best. If you can come out to this, please, please, please support this. Thank you. For
You'd
that.
be very surprised. I mean, maybe you wouldn't be surprised, but there are over 35,000 homeless vets. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. There are daily suicides. I know the number, the general number has always been 22, which is absolutely insane. But it's really realistically 16 per point something. 16. I mean, come on. I mean, that's just not right. And so if anything you guys can do to support, whether it's through money, through clothing, through just showing up at places that support the vets, it's really very much appreciated.
So, I do a lot for the vets as well, and I have a lot of entertainer friends that do a lot for the vets, but we need to be doing more. So thank you for doing this event for them. So now let's talk a little bit about you, who you are. So why don't you start there? Tell everybody a little bit about your background. Come on.
Well,
You know.
I was born and raised in Passaic, New Jersey. I started playing drums. Well, I started early. I didn't get a drum set till I was 13, but I started thinking about drums and music much earlier. I did finally get a drum set when I was 13 and a half. I played my first professional gig when I was 14 with the Frankie Gale Quartet. We did a New Year's Eve gig. And then from there, I did all through high school. I did when I was a junior in high school. I was doing 5 nights a week, and back then, I just did it. I had a little bit illegal. I had a draft card saying I was 21, so I could get into all these places because I just wanted to play. And my parents were so on board. They never said, "Oh, be careful, you can't do it." They just knew all I wanted to do was play, and so I had great parents in that respect. I had great parents, but then I went to college. I went to Montclair State College back then. I did 2 years and as a music major, and then I pulled out of college because I just wanted to play professionally full time. And then after I did that, I got a call from Richie Natoli, who was the stage manager and took care of the horns for Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons. And he said, because he knew me from the area, I did a lot of work in the tri-state area. So he said, "You want to audition? Want to come down?" I said, "Of course I do. I want to do that." So I met Frankie at the Capitol Theater in Passaic, and I said hi. It was just a nice guy, and we talked for a little while. I went down and auditioned, and I got the gig. And so I'm 21, and the week before I did my first gig with the Seasons, I did a wedding for 100 people. I think I made $100. And the following week, I did the Airy Crown Theater in Chicago, 7,500 people flying things on stage, storming the stage. I'm like 21 years old, and Frankie and Joe Long were in it. I mean, they were like, this was old news to them. So in that respect, it was a lot of fun. And when I joined the Four Seasons, my dad, God bless his soul, he thought I joined the Beatles.
Oh.
I mean, he was from Newark. So he was like, my dad went to the same elementary school as Frankie. We knew everybody from Newark. And so that was a huge thing for my dad, which I was very happy about. And then I moved to LA. I was fortunate enough to, we did the Who Loves You album. That was the first album I was ever on. And very fortunately, we were able to have a couple hits off that. And I was very fortunate to sing lead on December 63, Oh What a Night, which was a pretty big record. And And I've been music. Then I toured until then, was in LA till about the 1990, and moved back to New Jersey. Finished my teaching degree. I taught for 20 years at New Providence High School and New Providence Middle School. I'm sorry, the high school and the middle school are together because I was involved in the marching band for the high school, and I taught middle school band and all kinds of stuff for 20 years. Continued to play all the time. Always worked. Formed a band with one of my guys I was with the Four Seasons, Lee Shapiro and the late Don Ciccone.
Yep, I interviewed Lee. I love Lee.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And formed the Hitmen with them. Then I did that for 7 years and toured all over while I'm teaching, which was, so it was a little crazy. And then I moved to Florida, and I got out of the business for a while, and I'm not ready to retire. I can't. There's too much to do.
Did you mention your age, or we're not doing that?
I just was 71.
Okay, congratulations.
June 9th, I was 71.
Amazing.
I feel fantastic. I feel
You
great.
look fantastic. Come on.
Well, thank you very much. I work out, I stretch, I just, they say that whole thing about, age is just a number. And they don't say these things because they don't mean anything. And they do. You have to stay vital. And I felt, and that was an interesting reason leaving Florida, because I just wasn't ready to just, play golf and hang out. I mean, I wanted to do more.
So why don't we give everyone a treat, okay? So let's play your song, Oh What a Night, and then we're really going to talk about this song, okay? Because I do have some questions, okay? So
Sounds good.
producer's getting it ready. This is so cool.
There we go.
Here we go, baby.
Oh, what a night. Late December back in '63. What a very special time for me, as I remember what a night. Oh, what a night.
Hold on. So, Gerry, first of all, before we get into this, I have one of your biggest fans on the phone.
Is that
Okay?
right?
Her name is Ina Vasquez. Her husband is Carlos, and he's an incredible singer. Ina, say hello.
Hello, Jerry. Nice to meet you on the phone, at least.
How are you?
I'm doing very well, and I'm so glad that you're going to be back around and letting us listen to your fantastic music.
Well, I appreciate that very much. Nice to meet you as well.
I hope to see you soon one day.
That sounds great. If you
I
can
have
make
to
it to
tell you
Long
a very
Island,
quick,
come on
funny
out.
story, though, Jerry.
Go ahead,
What's
Ina.
that?
Well, Jerry's, I should say.
Go ahead.
You know, of course, you know Carlos and whatever. He has a daughter from a previous marriage, and I never remember how old she is. And I have to go to your song because she was born December 21st, 1963.
Oh, that's
So I
great.
start playing the song, and I go, late December 63. Okay, she's going to be 60.
Oh, that's
That's
great.
great. That's great. Give a shout out to your hubby. Come on.
I certainly will. He's actually listening here as well. He's just helping me pick out the laundry. He went to get the stuff out of the dryer. But we were listening, and we're both going to stay listening.
Carlos Vasquez, everybody. Awesome singer. I love you guys. Thanks, Ina.
Love you too, and doing a great
All the
show.
best, and all the
thank
best
you,
to
Jerry.
all the best to
And
Carlos.
I just want to let you know that I've seen Jersey Boys at least 50 times.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you, girl. Love you.
Okay, we'll keep listening.
All right, bye, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
So-
That was very nice.
Yes, she loves you.
That was very nice.
So, okay, so now, I want you to talk a little bit more about that song, okay? Because you know where I'm going with this. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about you being the lead singer and the recognition that you either got or didn't get. Let's talk about it.
Well, we can take it from the beginning. During that time, there were some groups that were doing multiple leads. Chicago did multiple leads. Fleetwood Mac was doing multiple leads. Different groups were doing it. And so when we did the Who Loves You, first we did Who Loves You, and then we got as a single, and then that propelled us with Warner Brothers to do the album. And so Bob Gaudio and his wife Judy Parker came to us with this song, December 63, Oh What a Night. But it wasn't titled that, and it wasn't about what the song is now. It was the original song was about prohibition, and some of the lyrics were, flappers flipping on the floor, and we were like, oh, wait a minute, no. We were the younger guys coming into the group, and I guess Bob wanted to make a statement about something, but we said no. Everybody disagreed about the song, the original song, but the track worked. We did the track first. It was a good track. It just laid there, and it just felt really good. The next day, Judy and Bob came back with the lyrics and the new song, Oh What a Night. The next day, December 63, Oh What a Night. Then we recorded it. It was really Frankie and Bob's idea to do the multiple leads. I guess, we didn't really try different singers on it. My voice hopefully it still has some of that, but there was an innocence to it. The lyrics were about an innocent time. It was that sort of thing. It clicked. We actually did an interview. I didn't do it together. These people from Netherlands did an interview about how that song came about and my tenure with the Seasons. And they did the interview with Bob and Judy separately from me. And then they combined the two interviews, and it was almost verbatim, like we were in the same room together, because we have, the truth is the truth, the story is the story. So it was quite something. You should that interview, that's up on my website, and it's played around, but it's an interesting thing how that tune went. As far as recognition, that song came out as the Four Seasons, not Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. It was, thank God, it was their big, our biggest hit. It sold the most singles.
Yes.
of any of the records, which was a great thing. We were 54 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, and it beat out White Christmas, which was pretty wild. But then we got beat out by Who Let the Dogs Out. So, you know, that's how life is. So that was all good. But yeah, and so through the years, you know, some of the recognition was more so about the group and Frankie, because it was Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Many people thought, for some reason, that it was Frankie who sang all of it, which it's an obvious thing that, you know, the voices sound different. And even to this day, there are people that say, oh, Frankie didn't sing that. Who's the guy that sang that? Because, you know, the song propelled the group as a whole for so long, and, you know, still does. It's just that kind of tune. It came out again in ‑94 with a remix with, you know, the original leads on it, with the original piano and different things. Just had more of a hip hop type beat, and it became a top 10 record again. So it propelled the group and Frankie for, you know, a very long time. I mean, let's face it, he had Grease, and he had, you know, after that, and he had, you know, but that's as Frankie Valli solo. As far as the group, yeah, it did really propel the group, and, you know, it's just, that's how things work out. But that's why this new thing for me is a tough sell, because for Joe Magnetico, I mean, it's like, you know, he's trying to sell me with the name, but we have to associate it with the song in order for, oh yeah, I know that song. Oh, who's this guy? Who's Gerry Polci? So that's kind of the struggle right now, but we'll get there.
Well, I want to comment on that. First of all, hey, Joe. Okay, thank you for this honor of interviewing this guy right here, reaching out to me. I love you. I just want to say something. So there have been so many incredible singers that had these hit songs all over the world. I mean, everyone knows the songs, but a lot of people don't know who sang them. So this isn't something new, and this isn't something against you or for you to ever feel. As soon as they hear the song and you tell them I sang it, they're like, oh my God, that's incredible. And then they want to hug you and your autograph and all this cool stuff. I mean, think about it. You made that song a hit song all over the world. How does that feel?
I don't feel any like, oh, poor me, or negative.
No.
I never have, and I still don't. You know, and I feel that tune, if you could do anything to create good or to uplift people or to just put a smile on their face, or they dance in their seat, just to be able to do that was such an accomplishment for me. If that's what happens with that song, or if that's what happens when they hear my voice singing that song, man, that's all the success you could ever want, really. I mean, yeah, sure, yeah, we'll go out and do shows, we'll do this, we'll do that, but to have that kind of reaction and that kind of effect that you can have on people, you know, that's how I felt about teaching. If you can have an effect on kids in a positive direction and make them, you know, want to work harder or want to strive for their dreams and not worry about, well, I can't do this or I can't do that. You just put your mind to a lot of things, you can really accomplish a great deal. And so
you're right.
It's all good. It's all good.
You're right. So I have a few questions for you. I mean, to me, you're a legend. So I love asking my legendary singers this question. When you were growing up, who did you look up to in the music industry? Who have you met that you always wanted to meet? And who have you never met that you wish you could have?
Wow. Well, when I was growing up, my focus really was on drumming. Although one of my favorite bands in the early years was Dave Clark 5.
Okay.
Because the drummer sang. And and so I enjoyed that. But I really focused so many years on, even though I sang a lot in clubs and always singing while playing, my real focus was on drums. I studied with a fellow, or a master technician named Joe Morello, the late Joe Morello. He was with the Dave Brubeck Quartet, very famous, very wonderful. He was my drum mentor. I mean, he was the guy. And I first started with this fella from Bloomfield his name was Carl Wolf. And he was just great foundational teacher. But as far as bands, I listened to a lot of jazz. My dad would bring home Gene Krupa records or Wes Montgomery records, or I got very much into the drummer Grady Tate, because he was a studio drummer that played on all these albums. So I listened to a lot of that stuff, the Elvin Jones thing I went through all that stuff. But there were always those great singers. I mean, you can't deny John Bonham. I mean, you listen to John, it's like, man, he's the bomb. I mean, he's it. You look up rock drummer and there's his picture in the dictionary. So so those kind of effects really had an effect on me. I've met one of my favorite drummers ever was a guy. His name is Billy Cobham. He's a fusion drummer, rock fusion drummer. Just amazing player. So that was good. As far as singers, probably the top three singers, Steve Perry.
Oh,
I've never met Steve Perry. I mean, I listen to him now, and he just has that effect on me. He's just like, it fills me up. He just has such meaning when he sings. When he's singing, you feel it. The guy from Train, he's one of my top favorite singers. I love that guy. I still listen to him whenever I get on a plane. I listen to the same songs over and over. The first like 3 or 4 songs that I listen every time I get on a plane. And his song, one of the Train songs that he sings on it is always on the top. Always in there. Sting, I was a big fan. I'm always a big fan of Sting. I mean, he's an iconic singer, iconic tunes. I was a big, Police fan. And I know every Sinatra song. My father was a big fan of Dean Martin. I like Michael Bublé. I like all these guys.
Yeah.
I grew up in a time when, as a drummer, you had to learn everything. You had to know all the styles. You had to know all the people, because you were called upon to play these tunes. So in some ways, I feel that a lot of the younger players don't have that access. They don't have that knowledge that you get from playing all different styles and listening to all different people and working up your craft to be able to create all different genres. And because just the business has changed and access to where to play has changed. And there are some just amazing young players. I follow so many guys on Instagram, and they're like, whoa, where did you come from? Oh my goodness. It's inspiring to see these younger players play so well and so good. So yeah, I'm influenced every day. I hear good stuff every day. And I still listen to Pavarotti because I study with, as I said, I study with Dr. William Riley from New York, and Pavarotti also, he worked with Pavarotti and a number of people, but I listen to Pavarotti, and I listen to him sing, and it's just from the heart. I mean, you just get taken by it. You just can't help it. You just can't help it. So there's influences all the time. They're all over. They're all around.
Well, I was married to a drummer, and he became a teacher, and he was into jazz. So listening to it, I just loved it as well. And these young up-and-coming singers, I've interviewed some as young as 9 years old that are ridiculous, off the charts. And I interviewed Carter Rubin. He was the winner of The Voice a couple years ago.
Wow.
But every one of them, I always ask them, what genre of music is their favorite. And I'm not kidding you. 90% of them say oldies. And they all agree that if it wasn't for that music, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing now. So they have such a huge respect for it. And I of course, I agree. I mean, I'm only 61. But I say, I'm 62. What am I saying? But I
You
say,
look good.
but I say that I was born too late because my favorite music is oldies, doo-wops, and Elvis is my guy, But Tom Jones, okay, he's on The Voice. Have you heard him lately?
Oh, have you heard him? He sang
Have
this
you
song
heard him?
sitting down.
Have you heard
Did you
him?
see that clip? Did you see that clip where he's sitting down and he sang this love song? He knocked me out.
Knocked me out. Okay. Did you see the young guy that came on that his father wrote the song for Tom?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay. Well, Google that. It'll come
Yeah.
right up. He sang with him. He said,
Oh.
"Your father wrote that song for me." Like, it was amazing. Tom Jones didn't know this young kid's dad was him until, imagine, but he sounds incredible. So
I was blown away by the way he sounded.
Me too.
Blown away.
Me too.
Fabulous.
Crazy. So, all right. So now let me ask you something. You don't know I'm going to ask you this, so I'm kind of putting you on the spot. And if you say no, it's okay. But could you give me, I don't know, 20 seconds of something a cappella?
Something a cappella.
Come on.
Well, oh my goodness. But yeah, that really puts me on the spot.
Even a piece of your song. I don't care. Just anything.
Oh, you mean like "Oh What a Night"? Or
Yeah,
like
anything.
Things from the show. You know what I'm doing? I'm doing "Runaway." Del Shannon's "As I Walk Alone, I Wonder What Was Wrong with Our Love, a love that was so strong." Yeah, I just saw Joe just sent me. Yeah, Joe just sent me a clip of him on the on Del Shannon on the Dave Letterman show. And he came out and did that song. And I've been listening to the record, and I've always liked Del Shannon. Never saw him live. He comes on and he's rocking this tune. And I'm going, yeah, it totally changed my perspective. So now when I'm doing it, I'm gonna rock it out. I mean,
You got to
this guy
rock it out, man.
It was unbelievable. I was gonna be, kind of smooth it out. This guy's rocking this tune out. It was great. It was really great.
You got to rock it out. You got to.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
all right, so now let me ask you this. As a drummer and as a singer, where's your first love?
Drumming,
Okay.
because it's a total body involvement. I'm just mentally and physically involved tremendously. When I'm in a studio, I love to sing.
Okay.
When I'm in a studio on mic, headphones on, I love to sing.
Okay.
And so, but I've already done the track. So it's like, I get a double whammy. I'm very fortunate to be able to say that I've been blessed, thank God, with being able to be in that position. But yeah, I really enjoy to sing very much because I think it's a great connection, because sometimes I've tried to connect so much with my drumming, and I think it does, but I think it falls a little too short as compared to how singing can relate to people, and you can really grab onto an audience through your voice, and so that's why that's a very good question. That's a really good question. Which do I prefer? Okay,
so but drumming, you can also grab onto an audience with your drumming, because when they have the drummers do their solos, and if they're good, because I can tell, because like I said, I was married to one, forget it, we're mesmerized. So you can also do that.
Well, I used to solo with the Seasons. I'll never forget one time, we're at Madison Square Garden, and it was time for my drum solo. There's 25,000, 30,000 people in the audience. That room does shake. It definitely moves. And that place is rocking. So I'm doing my drum solo, and hey, I'm Madison Square Garden. I'm in my 20s. Life's good at this point. And I broke it down. And I just started going bah, bah. and I'm hitting it, just hitting the snare, and the whole crowd started hitting along with me, and I'm going, oh man, this is too much, and I just got faster and faster, and then ended it. It was an amazing, yeah, I communicated with that audience,
Yes.
and then when I was with the Hitmen, I soloed every night, and it was always fun to express myself that way, and the people really, thank God, they really they enjoyed it, and it's fun because you could. I'm not just saying that. You do it from the heart, and
Yes.
people know when you do it from the heart.
That's right.
And that's just how it works, and that's where the communication
You're
comes
right.
from.
I want to give a shout out to one of the Four Seasons' biggest fans, and his name is Dominic Paradise. And he actually sings the Four Seasons songs, and he's listening, okay?
Dominic.
And, yeah, and he messaged me 10 times. When is it going to? So I had to let him know it was getting on a little early today. All right, so shout out to you, man, because I love what you do as well. You're awesome. So now, Jar, I have another silly question, okay? This is silly. So back in the day when you were younger and you were in school and you were doing your nonsense, singing and drumming, right, and all that, did you get a lot of girls because of it?
Wow. Wow. Well, yeah, the opportunity was always there. It was, yeah, I mean, I was never a dog, and I'm going to say, I always say that I'm not a dog. And so I wasn't, I always used to say, I'm really busy at what I'm doing. And so, I would have girlfriends but I wasn't the kind to go out and be a wolf. I wasn't, I never was. Even on the road,
Okay,
for
good.
how many years on the road. I'm just not that type. I mean, I don't do it. I mean, yes, opportunity knocks sometimes, and that's a good thing. But I was never the vulture type ever.
Okay.
Never. Not even when I was, in my teens. But
So
not
now,
that I wasn't healthy.
so why don't we now play your next song? I would love, and then you'll talk about this song as well, okay? All right, producer. He's getting it ready.
This is fun.
She moved in down the hall, so I paid her a call.
Okay, so I'm giving you a standing ovation from my seat, okay?
Wow.
Talk
Okay,
about that
thank
song.
you.
Talk about that
Thank you.
song.
Well, that was from the Helicon album. That was the album after the Who Loves You album. That song didn't do that well in the States. It was only like a top 40 tune. It did well in Europe. I think some of it had to do with the fact that we put that album out and then we were on hiatus for like 5 or 6 weeks, and we didn't go out and promote it. That was a management decision that basically it didn't make any sense, but at that time, none of us had any control over that. So I think it could have done more if it had. It's a fun song that, again, Bob and Judy wrote for the Helicon album, and that album was a little bit more of a concept album than the Who Loves You album. And there's some good things on there, and that was a fun song to do,
It is fun. So, how do you feel when you think back? All right, listen, to me, anyone who ever heard Oh What a Night, right? I mean, we're talking, I don't think there's anyone who hasn't heard it, okay? What you've done with that song, you've made so many people smile. And, as we get older and we hear that song, it brings us back in time. And it brings us back to a happy place. Like, no matter what happened at that time and things that went on in relationships or whatever, people still smile when they hear that song regardless.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel?
Oh, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all
That's
about.
just what it's all about. I mean, if it's not, I mean, I'm not putting anyone down for it. I mean, if it's just about the money or it's just about the fame, I mean, that's their business. That's fine, whatever. I'm not judging anybody. But for me, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's you don't get many opportunities to do that. And if it happens, then that's a really good thing. And it could happen in everyone's life on a daily basis, the little tiny things, They say that, the little act of kindness goes a long way. And it's true. It's true. You make somebody smile, you make, somebody happy for 10 seconds in that day. And that's a good thing. So if it reached that many people and that for this many years, man, that's all right. That's a good thing.
So if you're in your car, say you have Sirius on, say you have the oldie station on, I know you've heard your song pop up.
Yes.
Did you glow? Did you go, oh my God, yes? What did you say to yourself?
Oh, yeah. Well, the first time I heard it was nuts. I mean, that was like the first time on radio. But that happened to me with Who Loves You. When Who Loves You came on for the first time, because I hadn't recorded. It was my first record. I was in Vegas at the time and in a truck with a friend and heard the radio. And oh, man, that was, But when December came out, then that was me singing lead. And that was, it's pretty cool to hear it on radio. Because, back then it was radio, And so if you're on the radio, it was really, really very gratifying. Really very gratifying.
So the title, everyone, I even thought it was just Oh What a Night, but that's not really the full title, right?
Right. The real title is December 63, Oh What a Night. DEC period apostrophe 63, Oh What a Night. But everybody says Oh What a Night because it has that.
Yes.
Oh,
what
it
a
says
night.
December once. Yeah,
Right.
Oh What a Night. It says it all the time.
Yes.
But and it's funny because the guys or anyone that it was close to that song, we all call it December. We don't call it What a Night. Oh What a Night. We all call it December. I mean, Lee. If you ask Lee, he'll say the same. Yeah, it's December. We don't. We never. Very rarely would we call it Oh What a Night.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm going to ask Lee. Okay?
Yeah, ask him.
How
I'd
about
be curious
that?
to know myself. I'd be curious to
Oh my
know
gosh.
myself.
You know what? I'm going to see if he picks up. Hold on, okay?
Oh man.
Okay, hold on. He usually picks up, unless it's kind of an off time, though. He might be.
Yeah, he might be at dinner.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let's see. We'll surprise him. Hopefully he can pick up.
Hello.
Hey, Lee, it's Geri Petito, the crazy radio lady. Listen, I'm interviewing Gerry Polci. We've got you on. Say hello.
Hey.
Lee, Sally, how are you?
Good luck on your new project, your new embarkment.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
It's all right, man. I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, well, I wish you all the best.
Lee, I have
Yeah.
one question for you, sweetie, and I'm going to tag you in the show so you'll get to listen to it. You know the song we know as "Oh What a Night"?
Right.
What did you guys call it?
Well, in all of our set lists and stuff, we called it December.
That's what he said, and when he said ask Lee, I said, you know what? I'm going to call him right now and ask him. That's pretty cool.
One thing about Gerry and I, all of the memories are the same. We were 20, so we were in a band with older guys, and everything that he'll recall, I can back up because we were experiencing it all at the same time.
Wow.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Lee, we love you. Thanks for picking up, man, okay? This was an honor.
Polci, all the best, man. Do
All
well.
right.
All the best. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Lee.
Take care. Bye-bye.
That was pretty cool, huh? He didn't know I was
Yeah.
going to do that. I didn't even know I was going to do that.
That was pretty good, right? And what did he call it? So it's
December.
pretty- yeah.
So, all right. So the mic is yours. We still have a few minutes. I don't want you to get off saying, oh, I should have said this or I should have said that. You have the mic. Anything you want to say, you want everybody to know, please say it now.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, you could go to the fan page, my fan page. It's fans at Gerry Polci. Like the page if you like it, and follow it if you choose to. It's funny how promoters work now. Promoters work. They listen and watch Facebook. They'll see how many likes you have, and they see what kind of fan base you have, and they'll hire or they'll promote shows really due to that. And so it's a big thing. It's very influential, and I'll bring it up now, and I'll bring it up at different shows because it's an excellent calling card to other promoters, and it's good for business. And then I have a website, GerryPolciMusic.com. And you can sign up to subscribe to it. You'll know what the dates are and different things that are going on. That's always a good thing to do. And I'm just really I'm excited to be back in this. I call it the game, back in the game, and it's different for me now because. I'm not going out as Four Seasons. I'm not going out as the Hitmen, and now I'm going out as me. And there's no band attached. Although the band that we use is called Back to the Future. Great bunch of guys, and they do a great job. And so that's who will be playing on the 1st and any subsequent dates that we have after that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I just want to see the people again. I want to be out there and enjoy that vibe, how that works, play my drums and sing and do what I do, and hopefully people will appreciate it and enjoy it again. And that's the goal, and I don't feel any pressure. I don't feel like, I'm out there because I want to be doing it, and I'm going to find enjoyment doing it. And the process is always the most important thing. Thank God that I'm still able to physically and mentally. And I've got a great manager and partner, Joe Magnetico and his company. I have an MD, John Martelli and Martinelli. I mean, I always get his name wrong. John is going to kill me. And so they work hard at what they do, and they believe in me, and I believe in them. So that's a nice arrangement. I just moved to New York City. I have an apartment in Manhattan. I feel very good about that. First time in my life. I've lived in LA and Vegas and Florida and New Jersey, and now I'm in Manhattan. I love it. And just moved here 2 weeks ago and left Florida, and thank God I'm here. And I gave up my car, and now I take subways and buses and Ubers everywhere. I have my little guy. I have a little 8-pound Papillon, my little guy Piglet, who is just he's my little travel buddy, and yeah, it's good. It's good.
Well, we've
have
got to
very
get
special-
you in New Jersey. Tell Joe, please. Let's get him here in New Jersey. And
Yeah.
also, got to get you live in studio. You're not that far away, okay? Bobby Wilson
no.
flew in to come here and meet me. So let's go. We're going to do this again, and you're going to come live in studio, mister.
That sounds great. That sounds really
This
great.
was
I'll
amazing.
look forward to that. Thank you for having me on, Gerry.
Oh, my
I really
goodness.
appreciate it. It's, you know, you're a legend. You called me a legend. Well, guess
You
what?
are.
You know, you got this show and you've been doing it forever. And it's just, you know, God bless you and what you promote. And it's all very positive. And that's an important issue in life. You know, we need more positive people, and you're definitely one of them. We
Oh,
appreciate
thank you. So everybody, Gerry Polci here. Listen, is he amazing or what? Before I close out, I want to just tell everybody to please share this show. Please follow this guy. All right? Again, shout out to Joe. We love you, man. And you know, music is, you know, I always say this. If you have a little 6-month-old and a little bouncy and you put music on, they start bouncing. So we were born with needing music. And these guys, what they did through COVID, have gotten everyone through it. So I want to thank you for that as well. To you, Gerry, and all the other musicians out there. And Facebook, you know, if it's used for good, it's amazing. And he just attested to that. And what these poor people, I was doing a live at a show one time, and someone on Facebook messaged me and said, Gerry, thank you for doing this. I'm in the hospital. She got the nurse to put her phone up in the hospital so she could watch that live, okay, of the singer. So, guys, music is everything. And Gerry, listen, you're incredible. You're a legend to me, man. I can't believe I got to interview you. This is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm going to do something different, Ger. I usually play my theme song at the end, but we're not going to do that. We're going to play December. How about that? Okay? December. Oh, what a night. Okay?
Yeah.
We're going to close with that, Ger.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.